First of all, here's the dealio, Emilio. I'm in a really bad mood for good reason. Not because I have sourdough stuck in my teeth. It's because I actually recorded this episode a couple days ago and then the camera turned off. It turned off at 6 minutes. Now, usually I would just say, you know what? It's fine. It's still good enough. I'll put it out. But I was like, you know what? No, we're going to get this right. I'm going to make sure that the issue is I have my video working on my watch this time to make sure. Though sometimes I've noticed, by the way, I need to put my glasses on. What am I doing? There we go. Now I can see you. What happens is that the dial will turn on accidentally, and then it might be like really close to my face. So either way, this setup is getting really old, and we're almost time for an upgrade. But I also just need you to help me do that. You know how? I'm not asking for your money. First of all, calm down. I'm just asking you to subscribe, okay? Or star, or like, or comment, or share. Actually, the best thing you could do for me would be just to share. Tell your friends about how boring I am. Boring Reddy show. So yeah, I'm pissed off. So I'm re-recording episode 19. So let's take it from the top. Let me take a sip of coffee because we're going to need it today. Welcome to the Born Reddy Podcast. I'm Anthony Reddy. This is episode 19. Done again. Episode 19, what I had was so fun. I was in a great mood. But today, I woke up super early at 5:30. And for most of you who are probably over the age of 27? We'll say that. Because by then, you're at like graduate school, right? Doctorate. And then you started waking up early. I'm like the kid growing up that always wanted to stay up late, but I just would fight it so much to stay up late, and I would crash. Well, I'm the same thing. I'm the same kid, just grown, thinking that I want to wake up early so bad, and then I can't because I'm fighting it. I'm fighting to stay asleep because the best sleep I've ever had is in between the hours of I need to be up and I'm late to work. Best sleep of my life. That forbidden sleep? We talked about this. I have sourdough still stuck in my teeth. I'm addicted, by the way. I've been addicted to sourdough, toast specifically, with Kerrygold butter, cinnamon, and go ahead and spread on that all around. Delicious honey. And that crunch, there's like a crunch about it that I love. And then the middle part is like there's enough like softness in the middle, which I absolutely love. So I'm just addicted to that. Also, if you can hear my voice, there is a high pollen count right now in the Bay Area, and I'm sure other places, but right now I'm getting destroyed. My nose, every morning when I wake up, it's like a waterfall of blood clots. It's getting destroyed. I'm getting my ass beat. Are you? Here's the funny thing. For the first 20, 21 years of my life, I never had allergies. Never. Not once. And then one day, I just started having them. The funny thing is, I just started dating this girl around the same time, and her mom thought I was smoking weed. Because my eyes would be red. I don't know why she thought that. I had to tell her, no, I've never had allergies before. Funny enough, 20 years later, now, it's really bad. What do you guys do for them? Other than just blow your brains out? Is there a thing I can do? Here's the thing. Also, I do not like taking pills. I do not not for me. However, I've been taking some because it's that bad, but I still don't think they work. If anything, all I feel is tired and I'll take a nap. So then I don't have to worry about my nose because I'm asleep. That's what medicine does, man. Is they just trick you. Just like, take this and then we'll just put you to sleep and then you won't have to worry about it. And that does work, sure. But, and that's another reason why I've been having honey. I've been trying to have local honey. I don't know. If there's a cure for it, please let me know. Okay. I think I'm good. Let me take one more sip and then we'll get started for real this time. And then here's the thing. The other episode that I recorded that was supposed to be out today, it was about an hour and 1 minute. I'm going to trim the fat. We're going to get down to like 45. Sound good? Stick with me then. You'll be a better person for it. Okay. So I'm going to recap a little bit. So last episode, we ended on this idea of this alter ego that I've created for myself named James. It has been a few weeks since I've recorded last episode, episode 18. And since then, James has really stepped up and is becoming me, integrated with me, I should say. And the funny thing is, the times I've like actually tried it, where I'm sitting down to write, even read, because I've been reading some new books, which I'll talk about, at the gym, or moments where I feel really like pressured. There's a lot of anxiety, and then I call in James. I go, lock in James, as we talked about. And for some reason, it's becoming easier to just flip the switch and have him. And the funny thing is that I feel this like wave of calmness and steadiness. That's the word I've been looking for. Gosh, steadiness. There's a very specific feeling that he feels like, I was going to say rock steady, but he is. He's like solid. And he gets the job done. I want to ask you again. Does anyone know anyone that does this? I know professional athletes do. A few musicians, actors, obviously like method acting. Oh gosh, here it is. Here comes the wave. Sorry. But also not sorry. You're just gonna have to deal with it. Yeah, I just think it's so unique because I haven't really talked to anyone about this recently because it's new. But James has been really stepping up for me, and it's something that I've been adopting more and more, especially at the gym. And the thing is, as he's integrated into what I'm doing without even having to ask, things have been, I wouldn't say easier, but they're getting more familiar. Also, I've been trying to change my vocabulary a little bit about things that are like too easy or this is really hard, or I've been trying to change it to this is familiar and this is unfamiliar. And the reason why is because when I kind of speak out my truth, I notice a difference. I know when one's familiar that I recognize it, and it's sometimes the same or not the same, even though it's in that category. And then unfamiliar would be like, yeah, this is different. And I'm not sure what to expect, but I'm going to go into it with a little bit of curiosity and openness. You know, try that. You can have that one. That one's free. But yeah, James has been really helpful for me. I also went to a Reiki session, another one. This is the other teacher that I have visited once before. So about a year ago, her name's Deanna. She's out here in Concord in the East Bay. Fantastic, by the way. I love our sessions. Like, she is super intuitive and talented, very patient. I don't know. She just has a way about her where I really feel I'm on the same like page or wavelength, and she understands me. I don't feel crazy when I'm talking to her, because some of the conversations and the recap of our sessions are not regular conversations that you would have on the surface. But I recently saw her, and the reason why is because I just wanted to see where I was at since I left Ireland. And then also a year from when I saw her, I compared some notes. The funny thing is, I keep saying the funny thing. It is funny though. It is. Last year where I was at, I was ending a chapter. I was going through a transition. So I was kind of like at the start of something, or the end of something, but starting. Well, fast forward to now, I feel like I've come a long way into this next chapter that I've already begun and integrated, which is really reassuring and gave me confirmation that I'm on the right path. Some of the things she mentioned surprised me, and some of the things that she talked about I could already understand and relate. So what I take away from these sessions, not only does Reiki, and in case you don't know what Reiki is, it's the Japanese style healing of your chakras and energy in your body, cleansing your soul. It also is a way for you to just kind of have a temperature check, like a checkup, a little tune-up, to know where you're at and what that's coming to surface. And where I got to was a stage, and I want to get this right, but it's basically like a meditative state. What was it called? Hypogagnostic? I butchered that, but it basically is the transition between semi-conscious, like a twilight in between consciousness and asleep. And it's like you're awake, but you're asleep. Anyways, it's just you kind of find this like void. That's what I was kind of calling it, like a void. But it's a place where, yeah, your subconscious and conscious kind of mix together. I was able to channel some of my ancestors, which was kind of interesting. It's like, how do you do that? I don't know. Never done it before. And then I also had like these figures come into play. Why am I telling you all this? Because I'm gonna blow your mind. Just give me a second. I really need another sip of coffee. You guys, this is my third one. I woke up at 5:30. That's it. I digress. Hold on. Okay. I had all these visions. And the very last vision that I had was a council of people. Now, let me go back. And if you're new to this, I mentioned this before, but if you're new to this, I have created a persona in my mind, in my head, and that turned into a council of people. I have 5 people in my council, and each of them play a role for me that I go to when I need to seek guidance. Now, why did I do that? Talking to yourself sometimes doesn't get the answers that you need. Sometimes you get stuck, and sometimes your ego just doesn't want to listen to yourself. But if you create someone, well, then it's from a different person. Excuse me. And for some reason, through these conversations that I have with the council, full sentences, full messages come through, and we're having like this dialogue. And that's kind of the rule. It's like if I'm seeking guidance, I have to ask in full sentences, and they have to respond in full sentences. And it is remarkably like useful and helpful for me. I don't know why. Anyways, so in this meditative state at my Reiki session, I'm having this, and then I'll describe to you where I meet every time. There's kind of like it might be a beach or it might be the desert, but there's like sand involved. And then the sky is not dark and it's not light. It's like dusk or dawn, and that's where I go. I meet around the campfire and we talk. And some of the cues that I do is that I imagine myself walking to the campfire and them sitting there around. I can feel the heat of the campfire. I can smell the air. Sometimes you can really smell the ocean. Sometimes you can really feel the desert heat and smell like the dust. So I try to use all my senses in this approach. So I'm having this conversation, and funny enough, they kept telling me it's on its way. That's all they kept saying was like, it's on its way. Everything that you're going through, everything you're feeling, everything that like you're worried about or you're not sure, it's on the way. And then so what I said back was, okay, thank you for confirming, but I'll meet you halfway. And for some reason that turned into a song for me. So I'm kind of writing this new song that I'm working on, which we'll talk a little more later about that, because music is a big topic that I'm going to dive deep into. So the Reiki session is over. Deanna and I have a little sit down and recap, and we talk about what I felt, what I saw, anything that comes to surface. And I told her about a few things, and I told her about my counsel. And she's like, oh, that's interesting. She's like, you know what? Through this Reiki session with you specifically, I felt I was transported with you. Like I was on this ride and journey. She's like, it doesn't really happen. It hasn't really happened to me. I was like, oh, interesting. She's like, I kind of saw this like place where maybe it looked like a beach that meets the nature, the forest or the green. And then maybe like there is she's like, I don't know if it was light or dark or just before the sun sets. And so I'm like looking at her very intrigued, obviously. And I'm like, wow, that's so funny. How would you I was like, and this has never happened. She's like, not that I can recall. Like it was kind of interesting. Like it kept pulling me in, like on this journey. She's like, and she was like, it was fascinating. And I was like, I'm gonna let you in on a secret. I might have taken you with me on this meditative state because where I meet my counsel, and I told her the whole thing, what it looks like, who I meet there. She's like, oh my God, that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. And for me, I was like, whoa, I'm a little mind blown, a little bit. Are you not? Tough crowd, Jesus. Open your mind a little bit, dude. No, seriously, it blew my mind. I don't know how or what you call that, but it happened. And so I think it's worth mentioning. Not that you will have this same experience, but if you're ever feeling off and you need to go to someone and maybe like a massage or therapy doesn't do it, like try Reiki. It has done wonders for me. Every single time is different and it feels different, and I come out kind of the same, but there are different experiences. And also depending on who the teacher or the guidance that you get, it will probably reflect on your experience. So I highly recommend it. So check that out. What else? Glad you asked. My dad celebrated his 84th birthday. We went to Sacramento, met with some friends, had a little fun. Yeah, we did. Had a lot of fun. My dad is such a, what's the word that I want to use? He just has a heart of gold. And I think I've said this before. And the reason why I say that is because he just loves people. He loves it. He needs community. He just absolutely thrives in it. I say that because even my friends are friends with my dad, and my dad loves my friends. They are friends to him as well. He absolutely loves the conversations and laughter. And my dad is the type of person that needs like one or two social interactions outside the house. He just absolutely needs it, and he thrives. Loves to talk, loves to joke. I say all this because we randomly went to the A's game for his birthday. It was a really cheap experience. Like we got $15 tickets to sit like 10 rows to see like some major league players. Like it was really intimate. It was really cool, actually. You haven't been to Sacramento. The Athletics are now playing there for the next year or so until their new stadium is built in Las Vegas. And unfortunately, they left Oakland. But I have to say, the Rivers Cats Stadium, that's the San Francisco Giants, who actually plays there. It's what? It's built really well. You could feel the action. You're right there, which was really cool. Oh, we got to be on the Jumbotron. That was pretty nuts. I was like, his birthday. And then the guy came over and, did the whole thing. And that's funny. My dad and I went to the Giants game, opening night against the Yankees. Let's not talk about it. That was a bad result. But him and I also made the Jumbotron. Something about him, he's good luck. Okay, let me fast forward. So we definitely had a day was had for his birthday. What I wanted to point out was we were walking to the team store, and my dad stopped by this booth and kind of got lost. Like, where'd he go? The funny thing is my dad always walks fast and always just like does these detours. He stops at this booth, and I realize it's a California Highway Patrol booth, CHIPS. And he's talking to the police officers, and he's having a great conversation. So I kind of walk up and be like, what's going on? He's like, I'm just so curious. Like, I have so many questions to ask. And he's like, I'm always intimidated to ask law enforcement because anytime I've been involved, it's always through like a traffic stop or something, it's never for like, you're doing a good job. Keep up the good driving. He was like really intrigued and was fascinated by this. And one of the officers gave him like this service coin for like outstanding service or a community volunteer, or it's a recognition from the law enforcement. So he got this coin, which was fantastic, and he was over the moon. And then he's like, "Can I take a picture with you guys?" And it was just so fun to see him like a little kid be excited to take a picture and to have this conversation. And what I liked most about it is that my dad is always giving, especially for people who are working or in the service or just anywhere, whether it's I'm trying to think of the bellhop. He's like over tips, or a tow truck driver. He's like offering to buy coffee, and that's what he did in this situation. He's like, "Can I get you guys popcorn, coffee, water, whatever it is? Can I offer that?" and he loves to give. He really cares, and that's what I love about my dad. And the fact that he's 84 and just still doing what he's doing, I'm like so proud for him. Like for him, I'm really happy. And also he's making memories with me in a way where I don't have to even take care of him. I mean, if anything, he's still taking care of me, which I'm very grateful for. I really wanted to share that because it's not often I get to see him in that light. Sometimes we clash, and sometimes I just see this beam of light of what kind of person he is and his character. And I just want to acknowledge that for a second. So, Dad, happy birthday. Happy 84, 84, dude. You've seen a lot. What is this? This coaster, Fernet Branca. I think that's a liqueur, if I'm not mistaken. Could you imagine if your girlfriend was named Fernet Branca? Kind of sexy, but kind of like, stop it. That's a nuisance. Like, don't. I'm just going to call you babe. Can I call you babe? I'm going to call you babe. I mean, I guess it could be worse, right? It could be called Karen or something. Hey, I didn't name you, and I didn't give the meaning for Karen, so. You guys, I've been wanting to share this with you as a part 2 from last episode. But I'm also addicted to writing. It's becoming my new hobby. And it doesn't always have to be, I don't know, it turns into whatever it wants to be. Some days I'm just journaling. Some days it becomes song lyrics. Some days I spark an idea and I kind of run with it. Some days I'm working on this movie script that I've been really excited about, called Irish Goodbye, based off my dad. And I almost can't stop myself. I actually, like, one of the reasons why I woke up really early was because I just had a lot on my mind, and I was like, I'm going to write a little bit. I've been using the computer, right, to type in my notes. Sometimes I'll bring a pen and paper. Sometimes it's bullet points. Sometimes they're sentences. Sometimes they're song lyrics. I'm addicted. It's so crazy. And never in my life would I consider myself as a writer, ever. And let me give you the story behind that. Okay, and I'm going to trim the fat this time because I really went deep into it. The short story is I was never really interested in writing and reading. I was actually really bad at it. Spelling, reading, writing. Spelling, I mean, I just didn't care. Honestly, that was I wasn't about like not memorizing. I just would never put a lot of time and effort into it as much as I should have to keep up to par. Reading, I hated reading out loud. Because I would stumble, my brain would just work so fast, and then after I read, I wouldn't even know what I read because I'm so focused on what I'm reading. And that's also with not even me reading out loud. That's just me reading. Okay, so it was a nightmare. And writing, I mean, I don't know, dude. I tried my best. Okay, I really did. It wasn't until I got to college. And when you go to college, you have to take a few tests. You take an English test, you take a math test, whatever. I scored really high on math and science. I've actually I've exceeded or excelled in those areas my whole life. I've always had, it always came pretty easy. Writing, not so much. And English, just like, whatever, dude. We speak it, that's enough. I can understand it. I'll get by. It wasn't until when I scored, I had to take 2, I don't know what they're called, prerequisites, just to even take English 101. Let's just say call it English 101. I had to take 2 classes. I had to take a writing and a reading, 2 semesters of it. And I was fucking pissed, if I'm being honest. I was fucking pissed. Okay? It wasn't because I felt stupid or dumb. I mean, I got myself in this situation because I didn't try hard enough. But there's a reason why. I always felt that I didn't have enough guidance. Or extra help in school. Partially is because I didn't care, okay? But also, I felt embarrassed, if I'm being honest. Because the thing is, you don't really want to measure yourself up to everyone else. But at the same time, you can see some of your friends in certain classes and then they're having a lot of fun or being, and that was kind of a motivation for me too. I was like, God damn it, I got to stop being these god-awful classes. I got to do better. And the other thing is that I have to catch up. I'm so far behind in my reading level, my writing level, why even bother? So that was the reason why. There's a couple of reasons. And then also environment, right? So when I got to these courses in college, the environment was way different. It was a lot smaller. It was like a round table. You had two professors, and you would go through these, like, I mean, talking about like elementary starting points of reading and writing. Now, I did major in communications, and by the time I got to college, my public speaking, my reading out loud got a lot better. And the reason why is because I kind of practiced a lot. I wanted to kind of be in acting, and then I was also pretty good on camera, even at a young age, and I was like excelling pretty good, pretty fast. But for writing itself, I was just kind of atrocious, right? I couldn't just organize my thoughts. That was kind of the issue. It was like everything's happening so fast. I can't put it into a format. But these classes really changed everything for me in a way where I was able to ask questions. I was able to get more help. And then the environment, just sitting in a round table rather than in a desk and facing like a teacher that we're all facing, and it's like 30 to 40, or God forbid in a college setting where it's like 300 in an auditorium, really helped me. And that's what I needed. I just needed a little bit more attention and time and guidance and patience. So I'll stop there. Basically, after those two courses, I started getting B's and A's on my papers, and all because I found how to format or sort my thoughts, outline, what your goal or your thesis. I'm going to take a sip because that was so funny to me. I almost threw my microphone. I got so mad that I do that. And I don't know why I stop. Why do I stop? I would start with an outline. I would have a thesis. I would work backwards. I was supporting arguments. I would add my opinion to support that. I would have sources. I would have quotes and questions. And I was just, once I figured it out, I was like, oh, I got it. I'm locked in. Okay. Fast forward. Throughout my career in marketing, tech, music, whatever you want to say, whatever other things I did, there was a lot of writing involved. But it wasn't until I worked at Wish where I had to write a lot for social posts, emails, newsletters, articles, scripts for on camera, for not even for myself, for people. And so much that I was on the editorial team at Wish. One of my favorite parts of working there was being on that team, because there was like a joy that I was getting, like more than you should get at a meeting. But I just love learning. I love like seeing how people write and why they write, and they would even bring guest speakers in from Netflix or Paramount, and they would talk about how their writing styles are and what they do. And I just thought, like, that's pretty fun. It's pretty cool, and for the articles that I got to write, I absolutely loved it. I loved what I talked about and how I put it into like these like monthly themes collections that you can shop for Wish. In case you don't know, Wish is basically just like a shopping mall, digital shopping mall. You can buy anything. I don't even think it exists anymore. I think it's Temu now. Anyways, I just loved what I did, and then I also would translate it into like vlogs and other content, and it did really well. Anyways, but there was something there, and I do remember my manager. She's like, you just gotta own what you do, and you don't have to be so hard on yourself. Like, you're good enough. Like, if you have a brain and you can write, like you can just talk and you can put words in paper, like that's writing. That's a start. You have to own that. And once I started owning it and saying like, all right, I'm a writer, I can do this. Just something switched, something flipped. So why do I tell you all this? Because this new joy, this is probably the topic that I would probably call this episode, but something inside me awakened once I started making music. Okay, let me say that again, just in case I get the nice clip. This episode, that's too much. That made me laugh. This episode is about how I discovered music, but I discovered through my writing and why it's so important. And I wanted to tell you the story because from then to now is like, I don't even know how to tell you or describe it, that I can't say I found my calling, but something inside me has woken up and switched on. Like, it flipped. And I really feel like I found my North Star. Like, there's something there that I really want. Is this still on? This better be on. I'm going to check real quick. Hold on. Thank goodness. I've been so pissed because like it cut out at 6 minutes last time. How are we doing on time? Perfect. I really do feel like I found my North Star. I really feel like throughout my whole life, there was only a few things that I really loved, okay? I love sports. I love girls. I love coffee. I love storytelling, okay? Whether it's watching it or writing it or just being part of it, creating. I do love to dance. I love music. Obviously, you get it. There are things in life that I really just light up and that align how I feel. For some reason, when I discovered that I love writing song lyrics, I just feel like I aligned or connected with it in a way that I haven't felt before. And I never knew that I could do that. Does that make sense? I never knew that I could do this and this would be this much fun and that I'm addicted to it. So I've been writing nonstop. And it also brings up some other conversations and ideas, and I want to share with you. One of them is that, yes, making music is important, but it's less about the product and more about how I express myself. So let me try to back up and say this right. Okay, now I know. I used to journal. I used to hate it for a couple of reasons. By the way, how I got better at writing also and reading like later in life was meditation, which I talk about in like episode 4 or 5. So if you check that out. But meditation really did change my life because I was able to like slow everything down and be able to process it and then be able to like just make it make sense. Where I can read a book and be like, oh my God, I read a whole page and I can remember everything. Love that. Did you see the way I kissed? I like did like an okay instead of like more of like a chef kiss. And in the last couple years, I've been journaling more. But the thing is about journaling, I always feel like journaling is words, like expressing yourself on a piece of paper that goes unused. What I'm trying to say is basically like journaling is like buying things and then putting in storage. Like that's it. That's the end. It just lives there now. And for me, that's why I always felt like journaling wasn't like fulfilling and satisfying. Like, yes, it helps get it to surface, be able to digest it and read it, analyze it, and let it live there. But that was it. What music is doing for me is that I'm actually now creating something into a story that actually exists out here. You can hear it, you can feel it, and that's what changed everything for me. So let me also back up and say, does that mean I want to become a musician or an artist? No. And it's kind of early for me to even kind of go there because it's only been 2 months. I just found an outlet that I'm able to express myself in a way that exists, that it feels real for me. And the most human thing about that is the lyrics. That's the human touch that matters most for me. Yes, I use a program that helps me generate music, which I'm going to explain. But the most important part to me is the storytelling, the melody, the producing, how it sounds, how it makes you feel, spacing, cadence, everything that goes into like structure and the process really matters to me. And I really think that's what makes my art personal and from a real human experience. Now, some people might disagree, and this is a big topic going on right now. But also, music is also a puzzle for me, like a jigsaw puzzle. And every piece of it becomes like a masterpiece, right? Like this, like something you're very proud of because it takes a lot of work. And lately, like the first album that I put out was called Life Was Grand under the artist Born Reddy. And if you haven't checked it out, you can find it like right here, Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere that you can get your music, YouTube. Yeah, I think the way I developed this was that I had a bad day. Basically, I was actually having a bad month and it was piling on me. And the type of person that this is another thing I wanted to mention. But the type of person that I am is that when things get heavy and pressured, I complain or I go to journaling or I go to talk to someone or I just get mad and yell out loud. And here's the thing about complaining. Complaining is healthy, but how and who you complain to is important. because sometimes I don't want to go to my friends all the time, be like this and this, because I know they're going through stuff, and it's like, dude, we get it. But at the same time, it's like it's a first world problem. You know what I mean? Like, we understand how much, and I could be very intense and very passionate about complaining. It could also be very fun, and you can do a lot of bonding with it, because people who love to complain. I mean, look at comedians; they made a fucking living out of it. But for me, it's like complaining is just kind of like annoying. It's kind of like, what's the point? So one bad day turned into me journaling, which realized that, I'm actually making song lyrics, and let's see what I can do to use. So I use a program called Suno, which is an AI music software that helps you generate music. Now, you can use Suno fully at its capability, which it can literally generate everything. Your lyrics, your genre, the music, you can tell it everything you want it to do. It's basically your band. You're the director, and they will do whatever you want, as far as you want. Now, for me, I don't like to use all that. Okay, I want to keep some human realness to it. Part of the experience is me. So the storytelling is most important. So I write the lyrics. What kind of song I want to write about is important to me too. How I want it to sound. So the first few songs that I wrote, I was kind of just experimenting to see and using Suno as a guide. And that's the great thing about these AI companies. Yes, they are here to help, which that's what the intention for. Like if you use anything, Chat, Gamma, Suno, Runway, HeyGen. I mean, there's so many, right? They're supposed to be intended for helping you as an assistant or guidance. They take your cold starts to jump starts from 0 to 50 or 0 to 80. And yes, at times they can literally take you from 0 to 100. But for me, when it comes to music, writing is the most important thing. And I think that's where the direction is going for me, where I'm like, I like creating, I like making a story, I like having a topic, and I like making it sound fun, right? Like in a good, catchy song. So the first couple songs that I used, the process I did building this puzzle piece was writing the lyrics, singing it out loud, hearing it back, figuring out what kind of song it is, picking a genre, and then taking it into Suno and be like, look, these are my lyrics. This is the kind of song that I think it is because I'm singing it. I want to hear what it sounds like. So what it will do is that it will basically give you two versions of what you have. And then it will spit it out, and then you can check it out. And if you don't like those ones, you can, give it better prompts or tell it what kind of styles you like, which has been really fun. And I've now written, well, that was set. So I wrote 7 songs that I released, and now I've written 12, and I'm getting better at each song, which is really exciting because I can't wait to share the new stuff. It's so sick. I'm so proud, and I wouldn't say that. And I know that I just started, but for some reason, I do. I feel really proud, and I really do think there's something there. So, back to the process. I do think most musicians come up with the music first and then have something to write about. And I think that's the easier process, if I'm not mistaken. And I know what I'm doing is a lot harder because how do you have a melody or how do you say something in a way that, how it comes out, the product, how it sounds. I don't know how I do it, but the story develops really easy for me. I can see it and I can go by line. What doesn't come so easy, or I need a lot of practice and reps, is like the syllables that go into the lines, or maybe starting with the chorus this time, or does the song really need a bridge, or what about the ad libs? Like how do I add those things? So I'm happy to say that the last few songs that I've written, I've actually was able to use my voice where I wasn't before. Funny enough, Suno just came out with a new version that you can add your own voice, and then it can generate your voice to any song for any genre, which is amazing. Which there's a couple songs that you'll get to hear eventually that you hear my voice. Now, I will never consider myself as a singer, but sure, I can rap a little bit. And yeah, I have a little bit of a, falsetto to my voice, and I'm really using it as a guide to hear the music and get the final product out. Now, I've also went a little deeper. So now Suno also lets you take each stem, which is a track, like drums, vocals, guitar, bass, etc., and download it and take it into another software product. Like a lot of people use Pro Tools or Ableton. I've been using Logic, and what I'm doing is I'm mixing now a little bit. I'm fixing the voice or making it sound more like on pitch or on tone. And does that make sense? On tone, on point, the rhythm. Anyways, I've just been playing around with it, and now I feel like so fully invested. Like I'm so excited to do this. And the fun thing about it is that I haven't really told anyone what I'm doing. And it's because I kind of want to keep it for myself other than telling you this. Because I kind of feel like I'm at a playground and I'm playing by myself and I'm really enjoying it. And there are a lot of my friends who are out there playing freeze tag. I'm just not ready to do that yet. You know, I'm not ready to take it there. Because it's kind of fun and sacred. Like there's like it's something for me, you know. The other thing is that now looking back on the songs that I released, I'm really proud of what I put out, but I've already taken my writing and music to another level. And I'm really, really excited to share it with you all. And by the way, I wrote 2 reggae songs, 2 country, and then like 3 indie or they call it emo indie. And one of them is Irish. 2 of them are Irish folk, actually. 2 of them Irish folk, 2 reggae, 2 country, 1 like, I don't know, R&B or emo or indie. I don't know how to explain it. And by far, the 2 reggae tracks are outperforming all the other ones. And I'm just so curious. If you're one of those people who are listening to the music, I'm just, why those? Just really curious. Because it's like a huge jump in the number. And I would like to know. And again, the artist name is Born Reddy, and you can find Life Was Grand and anywhere you get music. And it would be amazing if you guys can play it, share it, lick it, split it, and quit it, whatever you like. And for the next stuff, I'm really excited to share with you guys. Let me end here, but like on a couple things on topics. So right now, we're in a place where AI is now integrating with a lot of things in our worlds, right? And a lot of people who are in music kind of frown upon using or calling out AI artists. Not that I consider myself even an artist, okay? Not even considering myself that, but the fact that I've been seeing it more and more. Let me give you an example. Diplo recently did this interview and is now pretty much confirming that like this is inevitable. Like AI artists and people who use AI to help make their music is here and it's not going to go anywhere. But I've also seen other people who are in music that are now putting their stamp on and say their music is 100% human and making it very proud about it and really against about it. Now, I don't know the legality or what goes into like making money. And I'm sure that pisses off a lot of people because more people using AI to make songs is taking money out of pockets of musicians, artists, songwriters, etc. And I understand that because I have friends who are in the industry. So I totally understand. But there are ways that you can look at it that are making it very grayish, in the area, which is like, I thought about the author, right? Like someone writing a book, and then the characters, whatever, and then they making a movie off that. And it's like, that's another layer to that. And another one would be like a graphic designer using, I don't know, Photoshop or Illustrator. Like, are they really an artist? But they're using that. Or way back when DJing started to become popular and people were mixing music and becoming famous off that, or sampling. I mean, the list goes on. I understand that. Now, for me, again, I do not use the software to just generate anything and put it out and put my stamp on it. Nor do I even have to defend myself from this specifically, because I'm not putting my identity or badge on anything yet. If anything, if I had to call myself a label, okay, and name it, I'm a music creator. I'm just creating music through my human experience using lyrics to tell the story. And then I'm using music that I like. Now, going a step further, what we talked about earlier, in my Reiki session, I was at the council. They were talking to me. They said it's on its way. And I was like, I'll meet you halfway. I'm writing a song right now that's reggae. And I made the music myself. I used my ukulele. I used my mini keyboard, and I used a pad for the drums, and I'm trying to do as much as I possibly can to have a human touch on it before I send it over, which I'm really excited because it's the first song I'm actually putting more effort into the actual sound and music. But you could also argue that people who are bedroom artists, don't play any music, but they create all these sounds using different, tracks for the guitar. Why did I say it like that? The bass, drums, etc. And look, I'm really happy to kind of open this conversation up to people who are actually would like to have more of an in-depth conversation about it. And I'm learning constantly about this because I definitely respect for the people who have been doing it for decades. I just want to go out and say that. But also, this program wouldn't have allowed me to do these things and then see how much that, oh my gosh, this is something that I think I want to do, really seriously, which I think is a benefit, which is something that I never thought I'd be doing. So I just kind of wanted to say that out loud. It's been a really big topic in that space. Actually, I do want to share something. Since putting the music out, a lot of new experiences has happened. One of them, I'm reconnecting with old friends. Shout out to Curtis, Michelle, a couple other people too have been, PJ. Like, you guys have been just pushing the music for me. And I mean, just because you enjoy it so much. And I just wanted to say thank you. It really, truly means a lot. And then I'm also making new friends, new fans, which I just had a moment yesterday at the gym. PJ, he's a fitness instructor, and played my song, and we all took a picture after playing the song, and then people were coming up to me and asking me. And as you could tell, like, I can't even make eye contact with you because I've never been in this light before. It also feels weird because selfishly I didn't do it for anyone. I did it for me. I did it because this is something I wanted to do for myself. I wanted to put, my story, my experiences out there into real life. And then now people are appreciating it, and it's really weird. Now I've got to see this behind the scenes. And what I'm trying to tell you is that I don't know how to feel other than so thankful and so grateful. And it's been opening up new, connections and doorways. And I'm really excited to see how this unfolds. I really am. But, yeah, it's been an interesting journey so far, and it's just begun. So, guys, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, okay, on YouTube, Born Reddy Podcast. It takes 1 second. Boop. If you can, please boop it for me. And then Spotify, I think you can actually follow and then rate the podcast. If you can put a star, that would mean a lot. But and also, if you don't mind taking a moment to check out the music from Born Reddy, Life Was Grand on the album. Would love to hear your feedback, and yeah, share it on your stories. It's available everywhere: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Snapchatty, Tinder, all that fun stuff. So, you guys, we did it. 45, kinda 48. It's close enough. I hope this was fun because it's fun for me. I hope you learned something. Oh, I did say that I was reading a book. It's called Tell Me More. Why can't I remember the author's name? Tell Me More. And it's about 12 little stories. I do like a little walk every day. And there's like a free library, like a shared library that people put books in. And I saw it and it's called to me. And I just started reading it. So I'll let you know how it goes because that's always fun. But again, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. I really am excited for this next chapter and can't wait to share with you all. If you're looking for the music and you can't find it, you can look in the description. And I hope everyone just has a blessed Aloha Friday because this is going to release on Friday. Did we do it? Glasses off. We're donezo. Thanks, everyone. Oh, and ready or not, I'm on my new wave.